What's up YouTube, it's Ariosorio, and today's video is talking about Robert Pattinson's Batman workout and what he had to do with nutrition, working out, and everything about his workouts for all things related to the Batman movie that came out not too long ago. So if you're interested in this, let's get started. So I have my iPad right here, and I'm at menshealth.com, and I have everything listed right here about what he said, and I'm going to be going over everything like bullet points. That way I can give you the most detailed information about what he had to do. That way I can give you my honest opinion, so kind of like a review, but you're watching the news with me, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a different video than what I normally make. And if you guys like this and enjoy this, give this video a big thumbs up. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Robert Pattinson, as you all know, is the new Batman, and his movie came out in theaters. I went to go watch it, and a picture is going to be on the screen right now of when I went to go watch it. And in my opinion, the movie was very, very well made. It's a 10 out of 10. And I'll be honest, I was one of the people when Robert Pattinson got cast, and I was like, Robert Pattinson? The new Batman? You're talking about the person that played Edward Cullen in Twilight? He's too skinny. There's no way that he's gonna be able to pack on muscle and look like the Batman part, if that makes sense, right? I know I'm not the only person. But hey, he packed on some muscle, not quite as much as someone like Ben Affleck or someone that I would have preferred. And definitely he was not my first pick in 2019 when he officially got cast as the new Batman. But hey, his performance in the new Batman was off the charts, so I won't say too much about it for anyone that is watching this video and has not seen it. So when I first heard that he was cast as the Batman, as you guys heard a moment ago, I was very surprised. But what got me very, very shocked and kind of upset was that he did not want to work out. So in my mind, I was like, how in the world are you going to be Batman and choose to not work out? Because as you all know, Batman is very built. He goes up against people like the Joker, Superman, and just about anybody else, and he fights crime. So how can you be Batman without having to work out? Like, it was absurd in my opinion. But some of the things that he said is that he ended up working out, not lifting super heavy, someone like Ben Affleck that put on a lot of muscle mass and looked insane for the role. But for the Batman, as you guys see, he did work out, as you guys see right there. And some of the things that he did according to his pre-Batman plan. So there's 4 different things. Number 1, he did circuit training consisting of 5-minute cardio effort, bicycle crunches, dumbbell side bends, double crunches, and Superman holds. Funny. Number 2, in terms of running, Robert Pattinson would run 5 to 10 kilometers 3 or 4 times a week, explaining why he would do that in order to up his stamina and performance. And number 3, he would focus on outdoor fitness. So he would specifically do military style sandbag routines on the beach, and has always been an advocate of long walks as a way of loosening up and freeing the mind. And according to number 4, he's also been boxing, which is pretty obvious, burning around 800 calories an hour, which, as we all know, boxing is one of the best workouts to build fitness, speed, and strength. For all of those things that he did, I think they're excellent. The circuit training, top notch, because he's beating up different guys. Batman, you know how he works out. Running, very, very necessary, because Batman has to go and catch the villains. He has to be agile and speed. He can't be like all muscle and be like, hey, come over here, if that makes sense, you know? Outdoor fitness, well, he's fighting crime outside, so that plays a part. And then in terms of boxing, that's obvious, because how can you have a Batman that has no sense of fighting style? Does that make sense? Some of the other things that I see here, obviously he worked with sandbag, as we saw a moment ago, or as you guys see in the picture right over here, little close-up right there, which is heavy. But in terms of very, very heavy weight training, and if you guys see a picture of Robert Pattinson of how he looked for Batman, which will be a picture right over here, yes, he looks more built than what he used to look before in Twilight, which a picture of it will be right here. So you guys see the comparison. He put on a lot of muscle, but he wasn't someone like Ben Affleck who had all built super muscle looking, sort of like Arnold for the Batman role, if that makes sense, right? One of the reasons why Robert Pattinson chose not to consist of all heavy training and things like that, according to what he said, he says, you look at the true warriors of the superhero genre, Chris Hemsworth, The Rock, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and wonder if you're putting yourself in the wrong place, Pattinson said in the interview, sharing how he turned to those who have mastered the art of a Hollywood transformation. It's all about pushing boundaries and building up to a point where you know you can do justice to the physicality required, and past that, so much of it is letting the special effects and on-screen exchanges produce a real magic. Overall, it is just very exciting, and that's a quote directly from what he said. So, as you guys see, he was not necessarily up to the level of someone like the people that he mentioned, but again, he chose not to do that, and a lot of the times that I saw when he first did that, he did get a lot of heat because, like I mentioned earlier in the video, how can you have a Batman that doesn't work out? And as you guys know, Chris Evans played Captain America, Chris Hemsworth played Thor for Marvel movies, and they're super built. They play their role and they do it very well, and they're convincing. They look like they would have a superhero physique because they play a superhero. So for this new Batman, I was like not too excited about how it's gonna be because Robert Pattinson is not working out. But hey, a picture of how Robert Pattinson looked for the Batman role. He improved significantly. He put on muscle, but it was all lean muscle. He didn't bulk up to gain a little bit more fat and a little bit more muscle to look overall more toned, carved up, if that made sense. No, he chose to gain lean muscle, which, hey, it worked for him. Not necessarily my favorite Batman look, but it fit the role. A little bit about critique of the Batman movie in terms of my personal review of how everything was. I personally think that the Batman movie was excellent. I still prefer Christian Bale's Batman, but this new Batman played by Robert Pattinson is more of a detective movie rather than Bruce Wayne, Batman, other characters, villain focus, and things like that. So if you're thinking about going to see the movie and have the mindset that it's gonna be a mix of Bruce Wayne and Batman, of course Bruce Wayne is gonna be played there because again, it's both roles, if that makes sense. I kid you not, Batman is basically almost in every single scene and it's all Batman focused. So in that aspect, I was a big fan. The major villain of this movie is the Riddler, and as we know, he likes to leave clues and riddles all around Gotham City. The way that the movie was centered, he would basically play the detective role that we all know that Batman can do in the comics, and he killed that. So Robert Pattinson in that aspect crushed it. He did very, very well, and I personally recommend going to see the movie. It's almost 3 hours, but well worth it. And going back to the topic of his workouts, I personally would have liked to see a little more definition on his body, as you guys see right there, but he was playing his desired Batman role. I don't know if what's to come from now into any possible future films, but with what I have seen so far, I can't complain. He did very well, and I just hope that he keeps the Batman physique if he chooses to do any other films with Warner Brothers, because Batman is my favorite superhero alongside with Spider-Man. Those two are my favorite superheroes. This is just a little quick review of Batman, Robert Pattinson workout, what he had to do and things like that. And something else that I heard in terms of his nutrition is that he ate super clean. He ate a lot of fish, and by the time that he got finished filming for Batman, he said that he did not want to see any lean fish for a long time because that's basically all he ate. So fish, broccoli, and brown rice, like the typical bro meal, if that makes sense. He looked apart for the role that he wanted to look for Batman, and I can't argue with anything in that sense. So I'm gonna round this video up right here. Please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe. New videos every Tuesday, every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Let me know what you thought of Robert Pattinson's The Batman movie. If you're gonna go watch it, if you're not a fan of him, let me know any and all that stuff down in the comments below. I'm gonna respond to you as soon as possible because I'm very interested in seeing what you guys thought about the whole Robert Pattinson the Batman situation, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna round this video up right here. Ariel Sorio signing out. Thank you.